Hi folks, my name is Wayne Dufault. I've been a mutual teller for many years, going on over 40 years now. And in that time I've certainly learned just about everything there is to learn about how the mutual betting game works. I recently wrote a book which is now available on Amazon called Mutual Understanding, and this little video is basically a little plug on my book. But there are lots of lessons learned in the book, lessons that I've learned over the years. I also throw in some humorous track stories and even some original poetry. But on the screen here is a simulated tote board that I made out of a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, and this just demonstrates one of the lessons I teach in my book. This lesson is basically about how the size of a pool is very important in determining how much you actually bet into the pool. It's an example of a tote board here, a win pool, 8 horses in the race. It's a relatively small pool. There's only $540 in this pool. By the way, all this information, the total amount of money bet into the pool, the amount bet on each horse, and the odds for each horse are on just about every tote board you can find. Just a word about odds. Some people go to the racetrack really don't understand what odds means, and as in my book I explain, the best way to understand what odds means is basically, let's look at this example here. The odds on this horse are 8-1, which really means that you're making a profit of $8 for every dollar that you bet on this particular horse. Think of odds, and by the way, these are just approximate odds. I've done a lot of rounding here, but just think of odds as the profit you make for every dollar that you bet on the horse. Okay, let's take a look at an example and just show you how the size of pools makes a huge difference in determining what you bet into the pool. This is a small pool, only $540 into it. You've just come from the paddock. You've looked at the 6 horse. You love the 6 horse. It's a beautiful gray horse. He's wagging his tail. You think he's winking at you, and you want to bet this horse. You go back, look up at the tote board. He is 16-1, very favorable odds, and you like him so much you decide you want to bet $100 on this horse. Just want to show you how betting $100 into a small pool like this affects the odds drastically. If you bet $100 on this horse, he goes from $25 bet on him to you're adding your 100 to it. Now there's $125 bet on him, and look what happens to the odds. The odds go from a very favorable 16-1 to a not so favorable 3-1. However, conversely, let's look at a larger pool. This is a pool you might find at Saratoga during the summertime. It's a much larger pool. In fact, I've made it exactly 100 times bigger just to show you the difference a larger pool is from a smaller pool as far as betting into these pools. Again, let's look at the 6 horse. Same horse you love. He's currently 16-1. You want to bet $100 on him. So let's increase this amount of bet on the 6 horse from $2,500 to $2,600, adding your $100. And look what happens. The odds don't change at all. Well, they do change slightly. These are approximate odds, but they still stay at the odds still stay at 16-1 when you bet your $100. And so you can see it makes a huge difference how big the pool is to determine how much money you actually bet into the pool. This is just one of the lessons I teach in my book. There are many more. As I said, I've been working the racetrack for over 40 years, and I think I can teach you a lot of things that will be very helpful. I see people wasting money almost every day just by not knowing this very simple lesson that I taught in this video. Okay, I hope you consider buying your book. Thanks, bye.